Hi. So for this class, we were exploring the idea of contralateral movements. So I will just explain this a little bit from the book before we get going. So we were exploring how the idea of contralateral movements facilitate greater brain integration and how trauma has a real impact on the way that the different parts of our brain speak to each other. So cross-lateral movements, which are some of the movements that we'll be doing in the practice, breath practices and somatic awareness help us access our wise mind and our coherent nervous system state, which allows us to make decisions, handle conflicts and respond to stress. So kind of looking at that in a little bit of detail, trauma has a significant impact on the brain, as we know, and that is especially in childhood, but it can also impact the brain in adulthood as well, and it affects things like our working memory, that type of thing. And so, in particular, trauma can disrupt neural connections between the different areas of the brain, interfering with the brain's ability to integrate information at the cognitive, emotional, and sensory levels. So our ability to take that information, maybe that our sensory system is telling us, becomes lessened because of the way that our right and left side of the brain, our top and bottom sides of the brain, are working together, because they're not working together as well. So here it talks a little bit, and I could go into, and I could send you if you wanted me to, all the information about the different parts of the brain and the hypothalamus and the hippocampus and kind of what is going on. But without kind of going into loads of words, it says that with these disruptions in the brain and the autonomic nervous system as a whole, as a result, you might be prone to feeling emotionally hijacked and dysregulated, or you might feel detached and numb. So trauma can disrupt connections with the left and right hemispheres of the brain, and too much left brain activity can leave you feeling emotionally cut off and disconnected, while too much right brain activity can leave you feeling flooded with emotions or painful memories from the past. And then it goes on to talk about the idea of top-down and bottom-up therapies. So our top-down therapy is our talk therapy, counselling, that kind of thing. And our bottom-up therapies is yoga, the more sort of somatic body practices, which we're doing to heal the body, to heal the mind. So here it says somatic psychotherapies also integrate neuroscience into treatment by recognising that successful therapy involves a balance of top-down and bottom-up interventions. Top-down interventions stimulate upper brain centres through cognitive-based strategies, which often involve teaching you to challenge negative thinking patterns. But while these strategies are helpful, they are generally not sufficient because they do not address the physiological imbalances of the autonomic nervous system, which require you working with the brain stem, the limbic centres, and bottom-up strategies which focus on body sensations, movement, breathing practices, engage these lower brain centres. Since bottom-up interventions tend to amplify awareness of trauma-related memories or emotions, you can mix them up with top-down interventions to help set a comfortable pace for your journey towards recovery. So we are exploring that a little bit today. I hope that was a helpful introduction. We'll run through our grounding now, just to bring us into that safe space within our bodies, to move us into the rest or digest, the parasympathetic. And then we'll move through our breath work and some of our asanas, our yoga postures, to explore that idea of working with the body to connect the right and left sides of the brain and the top and bottom. And the breath work, the pranayama that we are doing today is Nadi Shodhana, and you might want to look at the video when we do that. It's just slightly more complicated than the breath work that we have been practicing. I'll prompt you when we're getting to that point. So wherever you are, if it feels okay to just taking a seat, maybe on your mat or on the ground, lying down or sitting on a chair, whatever works for you. And closing your eyes if you want to. And bringing your awareness to the space where you are sitting. As you sit there, can you hear any sounds outside the room? And then bring your attention and your awareness inside the room. What can you sense around you? Is there anything that helps you to know that this is a safe space? And then bringing your awareness to your body. Can you draw your attention to the parts of your body that are connecting you to the mat and to the earth grounding you? And then take a moment to notice how your body is doing right now. How is the energy within you? Is it positive energy? How is your body doing? Do you feel well? Or not as well today? Without judgment, just noticing what's going on. And then bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing if it flows, if it catches anywhere, if it's short or long. And without judgment, what is going on for you in your mind? Is there lots going on, or are you able to find any stillness? And then if you want to join me in the breathwork practice of Nadi Shodhana, then taking your right hand and placing your first finger and your thumb in between your eyebrow centre. And we'll start on our right hand side just so that we can do it together. And with your ring finger on your right hand, closing your left nostril. And we'll breathe in through the right nostril for a count of 4 and an exhale for 6. But just do whatever works for you. So breathing in through the right, 2, 3, 4. Close the right nostril, release the left. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll practice that one more time. In through the right, 2, 3, 4. Release, in through the left, 2, 3, 4. Release the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I got muddled. Breathing in through the right, 2, 3, 4. Release the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the left, 2, 3, 4. Out through the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the right, 2, 3, 4. Out through the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the left, 2, 3, 4. Out through the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the right, 2, 2, 3, 4. Out through the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And last time, in through the left. 2, 3, 4. And exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And release, and just come back to your normal breath. And in the quiet, if you want to set a sankalpa, an intention for your practice, a positive affirmation, promise to yourself, just repeat that in the silence to yourself 3 times now. And then slowly and gently, if you're ready and you want to, bringing your attention back to me. An option here to inhale, arms up, and exhale that right hand down to the floor, stretching and lengthening that left arm up and over if it feels okay. And releasing the left down, inhale right up and over if that feels okay. Option for one more either side, right down, inhale left and up and over, trying to keep that left hip bone weighted down to the ground. Release the arm, inhale right arm up and over, again pressing in with that right hip bone if that feels okay. And release. And then taking your hands to your knees if you want to. Just taking a few cat-cows here, so exhaling in your cat, rounding the back, inhaling in your cow, chest forward, gaze, maybe looking up a little bit. Exhale, rounding the back, pushing through the spine, belly button towards the spine, and then option for one cow forward. And release. And from here, taking a twist if you want to. So left hand to right knee and bringing that right hand towards your base of your spine, just using it to help you twist round. Thinking about lengthening up through the spine and exhaling on your twist. And release, an option to go the other way if you want to. Inhaling, lengthening that spine if it feels okay. Exhaling, twisting. And release back again. And then if you want to, then coming to a tabletop position here. So fingers spread nice and wide, hands underneath your elbows, elbows underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And from here, maybe just taking another cat-cow, again, just pushing up through the shoulders, and then exhale, and then inhale, dropping your tummy, gaze coming up. And just taking a moment to notice as you go in each direction, how your back is doing, how your spine is doing, your hips. Maybe rotating, bringing a little bit of a movement to what you're doing, just checking in and working out what is going on. And then option here to bring both hands towards the right side of your mat so that you're twisting round towards your right and maybe bringing your gaze to look at your right foot. Just stretching and working into all that fascia, that connective tissue that hardens in our body when we aren't moving as much. And release all the way back to the center when you want to, and swapping to the other side if it feels okay. And release all the way back. And then go easy here because it's a big stretch for the shoulders as we've not really worked into our shoulders yet. But a nice fascia release of keeping our hips over our knees and stretching forward, chest coming down and then head coming down. Big shoulder move here. Should just go easy. Don't push too hard if it doesn't feel okay. Breathing. Coming out of the pose whenever you want to, doing what's right for you. And then slowly and gently, when you're ready and you want to, pushing all the way back up. And from here, option to take our first downward facing dog. So pushing those hips up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. Maybe bending each knee, each leg, one and then the other. Maybe shaking the neck out a little bit, just releasing tension in the neck. Big inhale and exhale here if you can, and then releasing all the way down when you're ready and you want to, into that tabletop position again. And then option here to bring your right foot forward into your dragon pose, so working into the hips here and noticing what is going on for you here. Noticing whether this feels like the right space, the right height, or whether you want to drop your elbow or one elbow down, or bring your foot onto the sort of edge of the side of the foot into more of a winged dragon pose here. Connecting to our breath. And then pushing up when you're ready and you want to. And maybe lifting that back foot and lifting for that quad stretch here. Already starting to find those movements where we cross the body, right and left. And release. Bringing both hands back down to the ground. Maybe bringing that foot back and that knee back and pushing back up again into a downward dog here. Big inhale and exhale. And release all the way down to the floor. And if you want to, then taking that same lizard position on the left hand side. So leaning into the hips, noticing what's going on for you, what feels best on this side. Maybe it's staying here. Maybe it's coming down onto your forearms or one forearm. What makes the pose work for you? Or coming out of the pose if you don't want to be in it. Just listening to your body. And with an inhale, maybe just pushing back up when you're ready onto your hands, and option again to lift that back foot. And maybe you want to reach back around and grab for the foot, really stretching into the quads here. Just doing what feels okay for you. And releasing all the way down again. And this time bringing your hands back down to the mat, knee down, and maybe option to bring your knees wide and stretch out into a child's pose here, just for a moment. Take a breath. Come back to your breathing. Slow your heart rate. And in our trauma body work, we often need to proceed slowly, especially if we are prone to dissociation. When we cope with life by trying to override those body sensations, then we can become too reliant on that disassociating, that using those tools that take us out of ourselves. And so in this practice, we're trying to embody, we're trying to find that embodiment, we're trying to connect in and come back to ourselves in a safe way, attending to the sensations that we can tolerate and we can cope with. And so slowly and gently from here, if you want to, you're going to come to bring a little bit of a mobilization through the body, just through our Surya Namaskar A, a Sun Salutation A. So working into the nervous system to find energy. So if that isn't what you need right now, then skip this bit on or sit it out. If you want to, then coming to the top of our mat, an option to bring your toes together. Maybe thinking about tucking that pelvis bone under, drawing your tummy button towards your spine, softening the ribs down, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe just bringing your head into alignment with your spine. And then inhale, option to bring the arms up, and exhale all the way down, forward folding from the hips, maybe bringing your hands down to the ground, bending your knees if you need to, and then inhale, halfway lift, maybe hands to shins. Option for exhale, forward fold, bending your knees so that you can bring your hands down to the mat. And then maybe you want to bring your right leg back, knee down to the ground in that low lunge. And then lift the knee a little bit as you bring your left leg back. Option to hold here in your plank for a moment, or come straight down, knees down, and then chest down, coming up between your hands into your baby cobra. Remembering to breathe. And then tucking the toes, and with an inhale, option to push all the way back here into a downward facing dog. Maybe just thinking about drawing the triceps in towards each other, so almost as if your armpits are drawing towards each other, pressing into your hands. Deep inhale and exhale here. And then taking the left foot forward in between the hands. And drop the knee down for a moment in your low lunge. And then tuck the toes and bringing the feet together in your forward fold, if that feels okay. Inhale slowly and gently all the way up. Inhale, hands above you into prayer if that feels okay for you. And exhale, running through that on the other side, resting whenever you want to. Coming all the way down in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift as an option. And then exhaling, maybe bringing the hands all the way down either side of the feet and stepping back with the left leg this time into your low lunge for a moment. And then bringing that right leg back into your plank And then maybe again your knees come down, your chest lowers down in between your arms, and maybe this time you push all the way up into your upward facing dog here. Try not to crunch the neck too much, noticing what works for you. And then tucking the toes, an option to push back into your downward facing dog here. Maybe just changing it up a bit by lifting your heels and drawing your hip bones towards your thighs, nodding your head from left to right. And then slowly lowering the heels down to the ground or bending the knees as much as you need to so that you can take the weight out of the shoulders. And then when you're ready, and if you want to, stepping that right foot up in between the hands, and then the left foot. And slowly and gently rolling all the way up to the top when you're ready. And placing your hands on your chest. And after we mobilize the nervous system, practicing coming back to the parasympathetic, taking those deep breaths in and out, connecting to the body, connecting to the sensations of the body. And then coming to sit on our mats when you want to and if it feels okay. And from here, we're really going to work into some of those collateral movements. So if you want to, connecting into our core with some of those collateral movements. So maybe you want to hold onto the backs of your legs as you come up into this boat position. Maybe this is enough for you here. Maybe you want to drop the right foot and touch the floor and bring it back up again. Maybe dropping the left foot and touching the floor and coming back up again. Maybe dropping both feet at the same time and coming back up again. And maybe lying all the way down on your mat and bringing your legs up as an option. Just rest if you'd rather rest. And then if you want to do this, then bringing the right under the left and then the left under the right as you lower. Slowly all the way down, trying to breathe as you do it. Not getting too far down so that it becomes too difficult, and then pausing and coming all the way back up to the top. And then hugging the knees into the chest. Give your spine a little roll if that feels okay. Right to left, left to right. And then maybe using this rocking motion to rock you all the way back up to seated. And then option here for connecting that right and left side of the body again. So coming back into our table position. And maybe from here you want to extend that left leg behind you and that right arm in front of you. And maybe from here you inhale as you draw your elbow and knee together, and exhale, extend. Option for one more time. Inhale, elbow and knee together. Exhale, extend and lower down. And maybe you do that on the other side. Right leg goes out if it feels okay, and left arm out in front of you. Inhale, elbow and knee together. Exhale out. Inhale, elbow and knee together. Exhale out. And release down. And then option from here to come into a standing position. So slowly and gently rolling all the way up. And we're going to take that same movement again, but in a standing position, so it's more of a balance. So just take a moment, find your breath. And then from here, if you want to and it feels okay, then lifting our right arm up and bringing our left knee to that sort of 45-degree angle, finding that point in front of you to focus on to help you balance. An option to bring elbow to knee, extend, elbow to knee, extend and release. And this time, maybe taking our left arm and reaching it up, and right knee comes to bend, elbow to knee, exhale, extend, elbow to knee, exhale, extend, and release down. And then from here, maybe you just want to take your left arm onto a block or down towards the floor, and inhale, reach that right arm up, and exhale, release it down, and maybe coming to the other side. Inhale, left arm up, exhale, down, and just slowly and gently, and your forward fold, bringing your hands down to the mat, bringing yourself all the way down so that you can sit on your mat if that feels okay. Taking some deep breaths and stretching your left leg out in front of you, and maybe you bring your right foot to the inside of that left leg. And then explore what feels best for you here. Maybe that is where you want to be. Maybe you do want to reach down the body, reach down towards your foot. Trying to bring awareness to how it feels in your body, how the stretch feels. Does it feel better to stretch more or to hold back a little bit, look after yourself? And slowly and gently release when you're ready and when you want to. And maybe we swap to the other side. So foot to the inside of our right leg, and maybe reaching down towards those toes. Just see what happens, what works for you, what feels okay. Maybe one more deep inhale and exhale here. And releasing. And coming on to our backs for a moment here. So maybe just hugging the knees into the chest again. And then option to bring your feet down to the floor. And slowly and gently inhale as you lift your hips. And then lowering all the way down again. Maybe one more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale all the way down again. And then option to drop both knees to the right if that feels okay and you want to. Take 2 deep inhales and exhales here. And then bring the knees up. An option to drop both knees to the left, finding space. deep inhale and exhale. And then if you are able to bring yourself by a wall, then shuffling your bum right towards the edge of the wall, and maybe here bringing your feet up along the wall so that the wall is supporting you. Bringing your arms down along the sides of your body. And settling into this invert with the support of the wall, connecting back into our parasympathetic nervous system as we take a few deep inhales and exhales here. And then slowly and gently bring your legs down to bent and roll to one side and move yourself along your mat so that you can come into your final resting pose, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's with straight legs or with bent knees or on one side. Just find a position for you that is comfortable. I've got a short meditation for you now as you settle in. And as you begin to find a comfortable place on the floor, notice your body sensations, your breath, and any emotions that are present for you in this moment. This will allow you to notice any subtle changes in how you feel throughout this meditation. And if it feels okay to, then take some time to reflect on a difficult moment, either one from your past or in your current circumstances. And as you reflect on this experience, notice your thoughts, emotions, and body sensations. And now take a deep breath in and see if you can love yourself just as you are, without judgment. Notice if you are able to receive this care from yourself. And if you find it difficult to feel kindness towards yourself, see if you can become curious about your experience. What blocks you from receiving this compassion? If you like, you could imagine another person who loves you and treats you with kindness. Notice how you feel as you imagine receiving care and kindness from this person. What emotions are you feeling now? Is it easy or difficult to imagine receiving this care? And you might also imagine another person or a group of people who are experiencing a similar kind of pain or suffering, and explore how it feels to offer this same care and kindness to that person or to those people. As you explore offering compassion to others, observe how you feel in your body. And now return your awareness to yourself and to your own need for love and care. And once again, take a deep breath as you explore how it feels to love and care for yourself. And then slowly and gently bringing your awareness back to the space where you are. Maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes and safely bringing yourself to an upright position. And then taking one more moment, maybe with your eyes down or closed, just to check in and notice how your body is doing now after your practice and how your mind is doing. How do you feel? And then connecting back to your intention, your sankalpa. And maybe just bringing your hands to prayer in front of your chest, connecting your thumbs to your chest bone, maybe dropping your head towards your chin to your neck. And with a deep inhale and exhale, just thanking your body for allowing you to practice this session, and thanking yourself for showing up, for looking after yourself and your nervous system today and carrying on this journey of healing. Well done, and thank you for joining me in this practice, and do get in touch if you've got any questions.